Hello, friends. Today we are here to discuss about the second chapter microorganisms. We had already discussed about useful and harmful microorganisms. Today we will discuss about the preventing spread of communicable diseases and food preservation. So let's start with the communicable diseases. Diseases spread by microorganisms that can spread from infected person to a healthy person through air, food, water, and direct contact are called communicable diseases. So, communicable diseases are the diseases which only spread through the direct contact or through air, food, and water. Whatever we eat, these are the sources for to spread the communicable diseases. So simple methods of limiting the spread of communicable diseases are, so what we can do to avoid these, what are the simple following steps uh, to avoid these spread of the communicable diseases, that is to keep the infected person separate from the others and advise him her to keep a handkerchief on the nose from and mouth while sneezing. So it is very important to make that person separated from other persons so that others may be in the safe zones. Insects that are responsible for the spread of such as mosquitoes can be contained by not allowing them to breed. We should not allow the mosquitoes to even breed or to increase the number so that we can keep ourselves safe. To prevent mosquitoes from breeding, we should not allow the water to collect anywhere in our neighborhood. As we know that malaria is the disease that is spread to the mosquitoes, so we should avoid mosquitoes in any form. Or as we know that mosquitoes can easily grow on the collected water, so we should not make a space for the mosquitoes to grow up, and we should not collect any type of water in our neighborhood. Microorganisms spoil food. Microorganisms is also responsible for spoiling our food. How they are responsible for that, we can see that bacteria and fungi are responsible for spoilage of food. The souring of milk, putrefaction of meat, rotting of potatoes, vegetables, and fruits are due to the action of bacteria. So as you can see that milk becomes sour. So it is if it becomes sour once, then it is not able we can't able to use that milk. So even rotting of potatoes, if once bacteria is over there on the potatoes and it increase in such a number that it just decompose the potato in the manner we are not able to eat that. If we eat that, then we are uh, in contact with some disease or any problem. So in same manner, vegetables and fruits are also spoiled by the action of bacteria. Growth of mold can make food unfit for the consumption. Like you can see when the food is lying outside, you can see just a snow white layer of anything, that is known as the mold. That is the action of the fungi. Yeast can also make fruits juices, tomato juices unfit for consumption due to the fermentation. Like yeast sometimes is useful to make foods, but if it crosses its limits, then the fruit juices, tomato juices is unfit for the consumption. Fermentation is processed. If we it is in control, then it is useful. Now next we will talk about what is food poisoning. Food poisoning is what? Microorganisms growing on some food sometimes produce toxic substances. These make the food poisonous. Consuming such food can cause a serious illness called food poisoning. Now, if we eat the food that is not fit for us, and that is spoiled. If it is that is spoiled by microorganism, then it may cause the food poisoning to us, or it cause many any type of serious illness. Next is, you can see the pictures, a piece of bread and an apple that is spoiled by the growth of microorganisms. Next is very important part. If we know that our food is spoiled by the microorganism, then we should protect it, we should preserve our food from the microorganisms. How can we do that? Let us see. How do we stop food from getting spoiled because of the growth of microorganism on it? We can do this by killing microbes in the food and stopping them from growing again. There are two methods. You can kill microbes in the food, and other is you can stop them from growing again, or you can stop them from multiplying. These steps ensure that the food lasts a longer time without getting spoiled. This is known as food preservation. If we want to store any food for the long time, that is known as the food preservation. The following are some common methods for food preservation is heating. Heating food to a high temperature kills microbes. Heating food, when we heat the food, then it will help to kill the microbes. For example, milk and water are boiled to kill microbes. Ultra heat treatment is partial sterilization of milk by heating it for short time, around 1 to 2 seconds, at a temperature exceeding 135 degrees. So heating is one of the method to preserve the food. UHT milk available in Tetra packs has shelf life for 6 months or more until opened. Now, if you talk about the packed food, that it can survive for 6 months. Why is it so? Because it is the ultra heat treatment method is applied on that. So what is in that? We have to boil milk at temperature of 135 degrees for 1 to 2 seconds. It will help to save that milk for the next 6 months. Pasteurization of milk consists of heating it to high temperature of 70 degrees for about half a minute and then cooling it quickly. This kills most of the bacteria without affecting the flavor. This method is invented by Louis Pasteur. So pasteurization method is also a method to preserve food for the long time. So in this, what we have to do, we have to just boil that heat that milk up to 70 degree and just cool it quickly. This kills the most of the bacteria in the present in the milk. Cooling food stops microbes from growing. Cooling is also part of food preservation as heating does. So how cooling is affected? From cooling food stops microbes from growing and reproducing, and hence preserve food. A refrigerator. Preserve food. A refrigerator keeps food at about 5 degrees centigrade and keeps it from spoiling for a few days. Cooling can be of two type. One is like we are using refrigerator at home, and second is by deep freezers. The freezer that we are using. So refrigerator keeps the food at 5 degree, and deep freezer preserved food at below minus 18 degrees centigrade and can prevent it from getting spoiled for a few months. So in refrigerator it can be few days, and in deep freezer it can saved for a few months. However, once this food is taken out of the freezer and warmed, microorganisms start growing again, so the food must be consumed soon after. If you just take it out once from the freezer or the fridge, microorganisms start multiplying again or growing again, so you have to consume the food in the short interval of time. Next is chemical preservation. Chemical preservation such as sodium benzoate and sodium metabisulfite help control microbial growths. They are used to preserve jams, squashes and ketchups. Other preservatives that are commonly used are salt, sugar, and next is oil and vinegar. These are the methods for chemical preservations. So these are the chemicals that are directly used by the product big brands like jams, squashes, the companies that make jams, squashes and ketchups. Salt is the method which we can preserve also, preserve our food at home, like which checks the growth of bacteria by forcing microorganisms to lose water by the process called osmosis. It is used for preserving meat, fish, pickles, chips, etc. As we can make pickles at home, so salt is the method that we also can use in the home. Even also chips, can use the salt on it to preserve that. Sugar, sometimes sugars is also important to preserve the food, like it also inhibits or stop the growth of bacteria and uses preservatives in jams, jellies and squashes. It is also make microbes lose water by osmosis. Next is oil and vinegar. Oil and vinegar provide an environment in which microorganisms cannot grow. So vinegar and oil are the important part through which we can preserve our food. Like it can microorganism can't grow in the presence of oil and vinegar. They are used to preserve vegetable, fruits, fish, meats and pickle. Next, drying and dehydration. Drying is also important part to preserve food, because food microorganisms, when came in contact come in contact with the water, then it will start multiplying or growing easily. So drying of food consists of removing water from it. This stops microorganisms from growing as they cannot grow without water. Cereal, pulses, spices and dry fruits are preserved by this method. Last but not the least, canning. Canning consists of sterilizing the food and then sealing it in airtight containers. This prevents it from getting spoiled or over a year. Canning, like canned food, you can see a number of pickles are there. Even the normal type of foods that what we can make, the vegetables are there. Any type of food is there that is sterilized food is there, that we can put it in airtight containers and we can exploit it from we can save it from the exploit of microorganism for over a year. So in this chapter we had discussed about a number of things. So thanks for watching.